Okay, it's back to Ed Dames now. And Ed, are you there?
Yes, Art. I'd like to mention that the UPN news piece that you saw, that's up in its entirety on our website, as well as previews of all the modules that we have, so people can see what they're getting into. In fact, I think that Keith Rowland really has some competition in terms of Patrick Duda, our own webmaster for best webmaster on the World Wide Web.
Doing a pretty good job, huh?
Yep.
Good. A person needs a good webmaster these days. Everything is internet. You can't watch any commercial without seeing a web address.
Mm-hmm.
And the world is turning to the web. It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. All right. Listen, I've got something that I want to set up, and you can respond to this or say that you don't wish to respond to it. And I'm not going to read it now because I just don't believe in this kind of thing. You know Joe McMonagel?
Yes, I do.
He's making some charges with respect to you. And I wonder if you feel it would be useful to confront him directly with these things that he's saying. And if you wish, I have a statement from him and I can read it, but I would prefer not to do that. But rather to get him on the air with you at some point, if you would prefer to handle it that way, or perhaps you don't prefer to, you'd rather not respond in any way at all.
I have no problem with going toe-to-toe with anyone like that. I'm just wondering what the utility of it would be. But I'll leave it up to you. I'd be glad to do that.
If you want to do it, I'll contact Joe McMonagel, and I don't like sitting here and reading somebody's statement about somebody else on the air. That's, in my opinion, dirty pool. If we're going to go at it, then I favor talking. When I have something to say to somebody, Ed, I like to say it to their face.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, if Joe has something to say about you, it's fine, and he should say it to your face. Or otherwise, right here on the air, where you can each refute point by point and say what you want to say, so you're not misquoted.
Just so your audience knows that Joe was a natural psychic that the unit used. I employed him for intelligence operations before the advent of coordinate remote viewing, which was the predecessor to technical remote viewing. And Joe did not believe that remote viewing could be trained. I think he changed his tune about 2 years ago when he saw that it could be trained.
All right. Well, all right. Let's leave it there then. All right. And I will contact Joe. And if he would like to come on and at least in part have a conversation with you on the air and bring this up, then that's the way we'll do it. How's that?
That's fine.
All right. East of the Rockies, you're on the air with Major Ed Dames. Hi.
Yeah, hi, this is John. I'm sitting here in Houston and looking at the Weather Channel.
Hi, John.
Hey. Question for Ed Dames. This is where I see all this going with this Y2K thing and our money more or less going out the window. Let's see if you agree with this or not. With the computers maybe going down and money going out the window, you see this as giving this so-called New World Order an opportunity to more or less take control?
Yeah, that's a really, really good question, and let's take it a piece at a time. First of all, Ed, I've been interviewing substantial people in the know about the Y2K thing, and it's very, very serious, no matter, it seems, who you listen to. Do you have any remote viewing information that says anything at all about this gigantic computer crash coming?
No, we don't. And I think in-house it's generally agreed that we're not going to make it to Y2K, that Y2K will be preempted by other events, overcome by events.
Made academic.
Yes.
Huh. Well, that answers it all. I mean, there's no point in going on really beyond that, I guess. West of the Rockies, you're on the air with Major Ed Dames. Hi.
Hi, is this me?
Only you know that for certain, but it sounds like you.
It's nice to talk to you, Mr. Bell. Okay.
Where are you?
I'm from Tucson, Arizona.
Welcome.
My question is, earlier in the program, Mr. Dames said that there would be a war.
That's right.
My question is, has he remote viewed the situations in the Middle East and how we've really upset a lot of fundamentalist terrorists in the last couple of weeks? Has he got anything to say about the coming war in the Middle East?
No, I don't have any specific information about that.
Okay, well.
To answer straight out, in other words, you see a war, and I pressed you a little, and you said Eastern Europe. Now, that covers a lot of bases.
Actually, we think that war is going to be so widespread and sporadic. Right now, two-thirds of the African continent are at war. But because the African that two-thirds is economically unimportant to the developed countries, us being one, we don't notice it.
Well, you're right about
The Hutus
that.
and the Tutsis can kill each other,
I know.
and that's of no consequence to us because they are not economically important to us. Now, I use us generally, of course.
Civil war going on in the Congo, and it hardly even makes the news.
That's right.
No,
I mean, 10,000 people can die in one day, and there'll be a little corner spot somewhere on a
that's true.
second page of a paper.
Absolutely true.
But that's going to change when those wars start popping up in other areas. And you know, SciTech can actually take a look at where the next conflagrations will occur. But we've stopped doing that because there will be too many. And what's the sense?
It actually gets down to the point where what you see, you're so fed up with looking at the downside of things or seeing the downside of things that you've stopped looking at them.
It's not fed up as much as acceptance. It's just here. These things are upon us now. What you have termed as a quickening has accelerated to the point where we're in it. We're in the thick of things. We're just about to walk into the quick of things. So here we are. Let's bear witness and go about our do whatever we can do. Hunker down. There's a lot of personal choices to be made here.
Boy, isn't that the truth. All right. First time caller line. You're on the air with Major Ed Dames. Hi. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir. You're on the air.
Yes, I had I believe Ed had said in previous programs that gold would be going to $2,000 an ounce.
I believe that is correct. In fact, gold, of course, is languishing, although it's up like $5 or $6 over the last few days of terror in the markets.
It's actually going down, surprisingly.
Well, it went down. It's been up the last few days, but it's still languishing around in the 270s or 80s at the most.
Right. My question was if he can see a time frame on this.
Ed?
We haven't looked at a time frame. I think after the Russians dump all the gold and the platinum they have to develop some more liquidity, and they have no more gold left to dump, then you'll see gold start going up. When the Russians unload all.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, caller, I've been hearing that the price of gold has been kept down because of fears that Russia will dump gold, fears that China will dump gold. Have you heard that?
Yes.
Yeah. So again, timelines, Ed, I guess, are the most difficult of all, huh?
Well, also interest on our part. We pick and choose these projects based upon our own criteria in-house, and that's just not something we've chosen to focus on. That particular thing.
I've got a New York Times piece of breaking news here. Associated Press, see what you make of this, Ed. Unfazed by Parliament's overwhelming rejection of his candidate for Prime Minister, Boris Yeltsin, holy mackerel, is resubmitting the name Viktor Chernomyrdin for parliamentary consideration. Chernomyrdin, meanwhile, said today he would present Yeltsin with a list of people he hoped to serve in his cabinet. Leaders of the lower house of parliament, the State Duma, the communists, said they would come up with a list of their own candidates for prime minister. No doubt on that list will be the name Alexander Lebed. After voting 253 to 94 on Monday to reject Chernomyrdin. So, what do you see happening in Russia? Do you have any insight by remote viewing at all as to where the situation in Russia is going?
No, not via remote viewing. Just very concerned about those 2,300 nuclear warheads.
Me too. Me too. All right.
I've painted some bleak scenarios for you in the past. I don't want to revisit those.